be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
I see in the next few months a nicer country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
And why we should go through this rigorous, chaotic, demoralizing, and inexplicable situation after much cogitation on this clandestine and surreptitious, furtive, he said, and I quote, "I am not a magician. Forgetting words are like egg. Once broken, they are gone. Once spoken, they remain indelible in the heart of man." Come to think of it, do they have the powers, the spiritualism, the abracadabra, the voodoo to perform the magic, and as well transmogrifically transmute and transfigurate this ugly, debilitating, and exasperating situation? I saw it. The locution, "I am not a magician," in its jocularity in quote 1. 2, the uncircumscribed bluster, and in a vituperative ululation. I saw it in their hocus pocus explicandum, explication, elucidation, where we thought the shibboleth was a travesty and a parody to lampoon the masses expected eleemosynary from the government. After the miserly, the niggardly, the chaser-peering, the penurious, and the parsimonious, that I will say and remind us at this point in time that this is democracy. The government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Not oligarchy, plutocracy, and aristocracy. The catchword, the byword, the shibboleth, the locution, the conversion, the paroxysm, the spasm are counterintuitively excruciating, malodorous, horrendous, odoriferous, and odorous. But I pray that there's so much acclimatized transmogrification. There's so much acclimatized transmutation. It's not an act of sarcasm. Could it be that we are heading for better days? Could it be the political Moses that will take us to the promised land? Only on this note will I koto in Japoho, or else I will not koto in Japoho. Sententious, inarticulate, and uncommunicative on this act of recidivism, which is the verisimilitudinous xenophobic attack on my consanguinities, thinking it is a path to honorificabilitudinitatibus. Honorificabilitudinitatibus is a verbal prolixity, a sesquipedalian word, a state of achieving honors. Yes. You see, the vilification, language, jejun, wobicon, an obstinate conspiracy, melancholy that led to this scattered, nauseous, and miasmatic vituperative attack. This is barbaric and megalomaniacal. My pain is this. But I've refused to act. What a devitalizing, a petrifying, and a desiccating situation. To me, the belligerent, deleterious, cantankerous, and murderous annihilation, decapitation, obliteration, and mutilation of my consanguinity in their milieu is sardonic, opprobrious, malevolent, contumelious, erroneous, lugubrious, and clamorously exasperating. And why we should go through this rigorous, chaotic, demoralizing, and inexplicable, inarticulate, and uncommunicative on this act of recidivism, which is, he said, and I quote, "I am not a magician. Forgetting words are like egg. Once broken,
this is erotic, vivacious. This is voluptuous. Who is this clamorously glamorous and a felicitous latitudinaria?
Could she be a Vigo in Tata or a Tyro? Immaculately, a corroboration of a captivating and a charming. Oh my God, this is sonorous, salubrious, and a revivalistic resonate. Let's make this moment reactivationistic, tenacious, and agglutinative. Pardon my manners, I am not a twaddler, but a logomaniac, a sesquipedalian, a rooting tooting, benevolent and not malevolent, a prodigy, a coruscate, an enigma, a virtuoso who doesn't believe in the male chauvinism, and I reside in a collocation of the intellectual bulldozers, not mediocres. I am not into malebranchism. I am only here to stir up your emotional rococo and scare away the yobos for me to fall into lustration with this voluptuous, erotic, and vivacious inamorato. Never mind, I unleash my grandiloquence and vocabularies in chain, like the organic molecules, reminding you of the movement of your slowpogans in the days of the Alaquata Main. What? My amorousness, gregariosity, avariciousness, and cupidity has led me into the transcendental and transamination of this inoculated concupiscence, where I saw my consanguinity's advice as being vituperative, contumelous, and contumacious. Oh, what an irreparable relegation. Oh, yes. No, it reminds me of the biblical Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani and the musical Emi Demi Semi Quaver. Oh, could it be melodramatic? Could it be mendacious, meretricious, rather veracious? Now I'm in a limbo and quandary. What an emotional perturbation. What a petulant and venomous egoistic deflection. I thought I have found my val. Oh, now I have to kowtow in this poho. I must kowtow in this poho. It is appalling. That is the reason I've been in a compendious laconic lacuna, not a recapitulation. But let me tell you this, that it is Leca and pulchritudinous, that in a legotla, in an imbizo, flagitious and enervating lematas, we excogitatedly ruminate how the recidivistical politicals move from budget disappearance to budget doctoration. Now we are faced with a debilitating, exasperating thing with a financial lobotomization. But I pray that this will not ignite a clamorous remonstration. Now come to think of it, how dare they deplete the citizens of their obstreperous and vociferous modus vivendi? Enough of this vilification and solipsism. This is execrably pugnacious, pestilential, and attenuating. Imagine the imbibition of the political rodomontates, which has kept us in an abject ululation. Why? This is sardonic, opprobrious, malevolent, contumelious, erroneous, lugubrious. Today, what we get in return, what we get in appreciation, what we get in return, today, what we get in return, what we get in appreciation is the colossal, gargantua, high cost of living. What an opprobrium, what an odium, what an ignominious memento. That even at the barbituration, today, what we get in return, what we get in appreciation is the colossal, gargantua, high cost of living. Today, what we get in return, what we get in appreciation is the colossal, gargantua, high cost of living. Today, what we get in return, what we get in appreciation is the colossal, gargantua, high cost of living. Today, what we get in return, what we get in appreciation is the colossal, gargantua, high cost of living. Today, what we get in return, what we get in appreciation is the colossal, gargantua, high cost of living. What an opprobrium, what an odium, what an ignominious memento. That even at the barbituration of the so much acclimatized by a scrupulous, fastidious, puritanical, boisterous, energetic, and a routine to teen, but today for party affiliation, sentiments, for political somnambulism and malocclusion, he has chosen to remain close-mouthed, reticent, taciturn, uncommunicative, and unforthcoming. meaning he has foretold in their poll.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much
important. His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country, as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
It's the great Rugi people. Thank you, man, that you join us. Thank you. Thank you so very kindly. We appreciate you. We are inspired by your presence. It's another day. It's another day. But not only another day, historic day, great day. Not only historic day, great day, but divine day, supernatural day. Yes, we are in it. Good afternoon to all of you. Those of you following around the world, let us say universally, hi, hello, welcome to the show. Real Talk Kings 88.5 on this 17th day of July 2026, the reign of Nebuchadnezzar. I'm Sam Andrews, as always, Sam Andrews. Grateful to God we are and will always be for keeping watch over us. He has brought us into this day, another day, great day, July 17. How many of you know that the word 1 is so significant, and then 7 is God's number? 7 is a great number. 1 represents creation. 7 is God's number. 6 is the number of man, is the number of the devil. What am I saying by this? Not by coincidence. 17, chosen always by the protester. it has divine implication. All right, so let's go into what we've got today. We brush aside all of the other protocols or traditions that we usually follow on the show because of today. Very significant. The protest got underway. At first, they would think that it is not serious, but this one, July 17, 2026, Unity Party people are shaking. The president himself is shaking. The number is swelling. The number is increasing by 2, by 3, quadruple. The number is increasing. Thank God Almighty. Thank God Almighty. We said yesterday we will pray, we will fast, and God will listen because we believe the power of the word. We believe every power, every letter constituting a line of the Bible has power. We can see why God said, refer to himself as the word of God. In John 14, 13 to 17, he said, whatever you ask in my name, I will grant. We asked for fair weather. God provided it. 2 years ago, there was rain. Last year, there was rain. This time around, we told God, we put you back in remembrance of your word. That means this is what you have prophesied. We put you back. We put your prophecy back to you. No rain, no sun, cool weather. And God answered us in line with John 14. That's what he said in Revelation. The same in Matthew, he said the same thing. Ask and you shall receive. So we asked for fair weather and God granted it. No rain, no rain. And the atmosphere is unique. The atmosphere is unique. The massive aspect of it, you can see. The message is on. The message is going on. A couple of speeches have been made. Mulba Molu just left the stage, having spoken briefly, and the others are on the stage giving their presentations. Let's join them. And as soon as that, then we move.
Don't stay up there with Kenamonu. Stay up there with our professor, institution. Stay up there with the masses of our people. The laws who are fighting the public trust on the move. The student unification package to continue to violate the professor in making sure and the present administration is a one-term government, a one-term regime.
So that was our polling Emmanuel Yang of the Student Unification Party. Now we have another representative from the University of Liberia student political party called the Student Integration Movement STEAM, that is also going to make statement here on the grounds of this protest.
And so, friends, brothers and sisters, today, there's no placard upon hearing that the solidarity and trust a new day being thus happening by progressive force from the nation former institution, the University of Liberia, President Biden, in that executive mansion, because the listen when we have to petition the executive for us not to access the executive mansion. Article 17 of our Constitution gives us the right to petition our representatives. So if we have to petition the legislature of the and we have to petition the president of the executive mansion. So President Parker, it is so good to see it. He said the executive mansion so that we will not petition all of you Liberians or telling Liberians to narcotics today among the young people. Every president, every young people today, we found one of them to tell them the jobs. Every person today, the young people of this country constitute 74% of Liberian population. Fear this government. The youth is about to take over the country. The government of Mr. Parker does not have jobs to provide for young people. So the 19 million to reduce the population of young people. We want to see that will be fair. And that's why Northern Liberia, this time we are voting for back arrest. The heading of the border is all about border issue. That is to signal. But you signal consciousness for all conscious Liberians of the people of Liberia that President Parker to be a long-term president. Without that, we talk to solidarity and talk for the new page. The configuration of Liberia, we toast the petition. For the picture of the Parker, because we have the black iron of the state parliament impeachment. By the time we start with Rona, the impeachment of president, and the president will send so the Liberian president will take the Liberian people back to see them. When was the last time that the legislature received petition for the president for don't do it? Open border. The open border get back. The importation of cocaine, the Liberian government is able to handle the weed, the marijuana, become great, and it's playing our country. But the narcotics, the cocaine, we cannot handle it. We don't want to be surprised one day that the president of Liberia have been all rooted in the president of Venezuela because of drugs. Oh yeah, we saw it yet. We saw it yet. Many people come to Liberia to make entry to the United States of America. So we are not in our state into drugs, a transnational state, national narcotic state. It means that our allies, the place that we come, we will put it one door. Over there, the same people will come and take our president from our country. So we do not want that. We are calling on state. We are calling on Janamova Temolu. We want to say with the definite silence of the national political party during this kind of bad hand. This thing that happened in the country, we do like that. The protocol, CDC, ANCLP, they're speaking for the Liberian people. 2011, 2017, all national political parties protesting in the name of the benefit of Liberian people. 2018, we saw the very ruling attachment protesting against the state government of the people who tell their power, they are insulted. They are insulted today. They silent with the black and important. I am not going to go to stand. I am not going to go to stand with the best process. There's some institution. We will advocate for you, the Liberian people. While we are telling the Liberian people, always the magnanimity is stopping. The God, they get forward. They get forward to the missionary. So all the methods Liberians, I would like to stop there and use my back.
So the statements being made there, we want to take you around this.
And so, just the same, just so you know, the number has fallen Unlike last year, this one, the number increased, quadruple. That means by 4. The crowd has swollen. Thank God Almighty. We maintain that God is involved with this protest. And do you know that He is the God of protest? But He is not the God of violent protest. He is the God of non-violent protest. He is the God who encourages protest against Himself. That means when people are expressing their grievances against Him, He creates the atmosphere by which those people can express themselves. He ensures that people express themselves to their leader in a manner worthy of hearing. And when you are a government, you have such a behavior, then God can be on your side. But if you have not that behavior, God can never be on your side. Because the protesters today are peaceful, they are non-violent, they have God on their side, evident by the stoppage of the rain. He made it clear that not a drop will fall. Usually, at this time, and history bears us witness, every time a protest came out around this time and on July 17, there was rain. Whether it's lower or higher, but the rain will fall. This morning, God made sure that not a drop will fall. The reason for that, for all of the protesters, all of the Liberians to come out. When you see that happening, what it tells you that God is involved with the protest. God Himself is fed up with Unity Party, and God is on the side of the protesters. Thank God Almighty. We bless His holy name. He's faithful. He is the democratic God. From the very first day He created the world, protestation came in place, demonstration came in place. God never inflicted pains on people. He never refused to listen. He always gave ear. He never inflicted violence against His own people. He said they have the right to speak. They must express themselves. He said, come, let us reason together. A government that don't tread such a path is a devil's government. And that's why I term Unity Party a devil's government. Devil's government. Is it a normal characteristics? We are in a political environment, but we are not enemies. We are not fighting amongst ourselves. We've got one issue, and that is politics, which is referred to as policy. It's all about the issues. It's all about governance. 5.4 million or 6.4 million approximately people cannot be on the same side. It is not possible for everybody to be on the same side. But everybody can coexist, not necessarily living under the same room, but sharing their preferences and just everything characteristics of human existence, which we saw in Elling's government, even Charles Taylor government that was very brutal. Charles Taylor that had all the armed men, guns of different kinds, still people could mingle. You could see a thin line. You could see a connection between the opposition, politicians, and other people and the ruling establishment. Then came former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. You saw that connect which President Bouakai and these Unity Party officials can bear witness to. Then came former President George Weah, who stretched that inclusiveness, enhance the politics of inclusivity into everything. Unity Party come and creates a disconnect. And look at the name. They say unity. How can you bear such a characteristic? And then you are bitter. Your predecessors created an inclusive, all incorporating, all embracing environment politically. You come, you create a disconnect, and you expect God to be on your side? He's not a God of disunity. That is why God is in this protest. You go back into history. If you have not been observing, I've been observing. Every protest call on this day in the past, the rain came down from morning to night. Why Unity Party people? Last year, July 17, you go back to it, you check the weather a day. Why were they excited? Why were they motivated? Early in the morning, we did not reach 11 o'clock. They consider the protest filled because many people were not coming out. The rain was falling a bit heavy, and just those individuals were out. So they were excited. They used that to conclude that the protest failed. This time around, why are they not flooding Facebook, social media? Get on social media. Why are they not flooding it and saying the protest failed? Why are they not using the word failed? Why are they not using the word skirmishes, meaning small group on the side, small group on the side? Why are they not using the word pockets? Every one of them muted because they have seen the number. They have seen the number. God in heaven himself tired with Unity Party government. He tired. Who told you God is off politics? Who told you God is off journalism? Who told you God is off agriculture? Who told you God is off military? Who told you God is off medical stuff? Who told you God is off everything? The F God is involved. If God is off one thing, then he isn't God. Then he is not the administrator of the universe. Don't live with that illusion. God is involved with everything. Everything the earth. Everything the earth, God is involved with it. There isn't any that he is not involved with. Everything. Everything the earth, God is involved with it. Everything. God is in this protest. This is a protest. God's protest versus devil's government. God's protest versus the devil's government. I refer to Unity Party as the devil's government because when you attempt to suppress people's right, you attempt to stifle the freedom of assembly, then you are portraying the characteristics of the devil. That is the core or some of the core values of the devil. We are grateful. We are thankful. And we bless the name of God. No rain. No rain. They were hoping that the rain was going to fall as it fell last year. God said, no, it's too much. I told you yesterday, cocaine, drug is in the Bible. Drug. Monday, I bring it out. I'll put those verses on the screen so you read it for yourself. Drugs in the Bible, and God is against it. The number is encouraging. The turnout is encouraging. Listen, whether Bouakai comes to receive it or not, you don't be dwelling on Bouakai. Bouakai is not the issue. Change is the issue. It is not the personality. It is the change in character, change in conduct. Moreover, their refusal to come and receive the petition It shows that they are uncivilized. Take the democracy, take the right from there, take the governance from there. It shows that they are uncivilized. That's bad mannerism. That's bad mannerism. It shows they are uncivilized, that the government isn't civilized. Yesterday, even when we did not come, but there were people there to receive. So even if Bouakai does not want to come, Bouakai works with people. But the issue should not be about personality. It should not be that if we don't give this to Bouakai, we can give it to nobody. No, it is about a change. You people are pressing for change. We are pressing for change. Change is what everybody wants. It doesn't matter the person who receives it. Bouakai can receive it and do nothing. The deputy president or the vice president can receive it and they do nothing. What matters is the citizens have to keep on pressing for change. The more the citizens push the government, press the government to the wall, the government will move to make a change. That's how it works. You press for change. You don't press for who should come and receive. It is not about President Bouakai coming to receive it. You elevate him. No, you don't elevate the president. You don't elevate the vice president either. You press for change. That's why you wrote your petition. All of your counts constitute your petition, and you ensure that the government acts upon it. Isn't that the reason for the petition, that the government should act upon it? Bouakai does not come to receive it. It's infinitesimal. Consider Bouakai the infinitesimal in this equation. Why are you bothering that Bouakai, if Bouakai does not come to receive it, or not move from there? What are you elevating the man for? Why are you making the man like a god? You want change. The reason when you're saying protest, you're saying your grievances, your dissatisfaction, you outline them together with your suggestions or recommendations, your how. If the government receives and refuses to act on the how or your suggestions or recommendations, then you have the next option. It is not who should receive it. You have dropped that thing. It is not who should receive it. It should not be about personality. You cannot mix personality or put personality and change on the same table. Then you get everything messed up. President Bouakai is one person. He's one of several persons constituting the government. He is only the head. Bouakai is not government. One person cannot be government. One person cannot be administration. One person cannot be office. When you're saying office, you're saying a group of people with different shared characteristics based on the discipline or that office, medical, journalism, military, politics, whatever. So he's just one person. Refusal to come and receive the petition, then it means the government is intolerant, the government is uncivilized, then that is a bad existential mannerism. And here is it. With the passage of time, the government would need the opposition. So why if a gathering is called and the government wants the opposition or makes it clear that the opposition is needed and the opposition ain't show up, how would the government feel? President Bouakai wouldn't feel fine. That's why God meant when he said, do unto others as you have them do unto you. When you have the power and you think the power is almighty, it is not perpetual. You will need your colleague on the other side because no one knows. No one knows the next minute after the current minute. No one knows the next hour after the current hour. Only God knows, and that's why he tells us to be receptive with each other. You cannot be a grudge-keeping government. How can you claim that the other man, you claim that George Weah was not a leadership-driven person? George Weah refused to get your petition. So you come now, you are the civilized person. Won't you go to show that civilization by going to receive the petition? But the thing you accuse the man of, you're doing the same thing. That is a complete irony, a mental disorder. You accuse the man, you say the man refused to receive your petition. So because of that, you say, Bouaka will not receive the people's petition. Oh? But then you and your yesterday accusation and today, which is better? I think yesterday was by far better because yesterday the people came out, CDC government officials came out to receive together with international partners. At least they came out. But you shielding yourselves not to come out and think that if you don't come out, the protest will fail. The protest will be a failure. Mama Molu, please, and every other person or persons, you listen to me. Treat President Bouaka as infinitesimal in this equation. Let it not be about President Bouaka coming to receive. That if he does not come to receive the petition, you people will not live there. No, you're elevating President Bouaka. You're taking President Bouaka as a god. It is only God that you can do that so that you plead and plead and plead, and then God would listen. But not a mortal man. If he doesn't want to receive it, you leave him. If the vice president does not want to receive it on behalf of the president, you leave him. Whoever below that ranking order don't want to receive it on behalf of the president, who is the head of the government, you leave them. You just make sure that you have your document because the whole world is watching. And thank God you people have been very peaceful, very cooperative, very understanding. You people have defeated the government. There is nothing the government can say. The police have got nothing to say. They have not reported a single thing. They have tried to create a scene, but God in heaven, when God is on your side, who can be against you? When God is with you, not even Satan survives with his tricks. God is in this protest. God is in this protest against the devil's government. And that is why everything is working well for these Liberians. Everything is working well. The turnout is encouraging. The conduct is worth going down into history. Oh, yes. There has never, President Bouaka can admit, there has never been a violent protest since he ascended to the presidency. Instead, it had been his people creating a scene by which it will be understood that the protesters are the ones who are creating chaos. Since President Bouaka came, have we ever witnessed, has this country ever witnessed, does the international partners have any testimony of violent protests? No. If the protests have been violent, if the guys cause chaos, as the police have been saying, then why you release the people in no time? You should still keep them in jail, send them to court. Why you did not send them to court? Because you don't have case. You don't have evidence. It was a trump-up situation. Where is my girl? Oh, how I like this lady. We'll try to get in touch with her. This is what we call boldness. This is what we call resolve. This is what we call vow. This is what we call fearlessness. And on and on. Oh, this lady. Thank you. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. You are so, I don't know how I can describe you. Have a watch.
You try me right now. If you try Right now, I will strip myself before. So just want to change.
Why you want to do this?
I want to tell you how brothers useless they want me.
Will that solve the problem?
That's not the problem. It will be history.
Be history as what?
And the message will go forward.
What message should be as a message?
I'm going to play it over.
What message?
Will that send a message?
You know, in the class of people.
Why?
Crying that. Single mothers. Children are crying for drugs infestation. Our children are dying for drugs. You look at the man who is a drug dealer. Where you are at when the former was selling Oppo, make your beat.
So you do what? You will do what?
I will strip myself, making sure I got the video.
Do this.
Trust me, trust the brothers. Follow me. That's for you know to watch my video. You try me right now. If you try me right now, I will strip myself before. So just want to change.
Why you want to do this?
I want to tell you how brothers useless they want me.
Will that solve the problem?
That's not the problem. It will be history.
Be history as what?
And the message will go forward.
What message should be as a message?
I'm going to play it over.
What message?
Will that send a message?
You know, in the class of people.
Why?
Crying that. Single mothers. Children are crying for drugs infestation. Our children are dying for drugs. You look at the man who is a drug dealer. Where you are at when the former was selling Oppo, make your beat.
So you do what? You will do what?
I will strip myself, making sure I got the video.
Very, very bold girl. Very, very bold. You see the seriousness in her face. You see not anger, not vexation, but the resolve for a change. You see how she positioned herself, not adding any smile of laughter. When you hear the person, when you hear this expression that the person is dead serious, or when you hear a person is dead serious about this is it. You see her? The second thing you can tell from her countenance, she had all along been voicing her concern in the communities, in her community, in her campus, if she stay in the university, if she stay in high school, her workplace, if she's working, her business, if she's doing business. It tells you that over from day one, she had resolved to be a part. And that's what she demonstrated today. Watch her movement, watch her face, watch her expression, watch how she kept on looking at the journalists, asking her those questions.
Do this.
Trust me, trust the brothers. Follow me. That's for you know to watch my video. You try me right now. If you try me right now, I will strip myself before. So just want to change.
Why you want to do this?
I want to tell you how brothers useless they want me.
Will that solve the problem?
That's not the problem. It will be history.
Be history as what?
And the message will go forward.
What message should be as a message?
I'm going to play it over.
What message?
Will that send a message?
You know, in the class of people.
Why?
Crying that. Single mothers. Children are crying for drugs infestation. Our children are dying for drugs. You look at the man who is a drug dealer. Where you are at when the former was selling Oppo, make your beat.
So you do what? You will do what?
I will strip myself, making sure I got the video.
So thank you, my dear. Thank you. You are a very, very sound, bold protester, patriotic Liberian. So this thing came out. Many of the women said that if they don't do X, Y, Z, they're going to naked themselves. And some people would think that these women are jokers. 1, 2, it will be whether it's going to solve the problem, where their womanhood and a lot more. And some people, even their own gender, would think that that would be a rude thing to do, that it will be demeaning, not representative of their womanhood. But listen, Chief, I at St. Andrews, I can support that. Because you know why? Protest comes with different things. When people are desperate, they go to the extreme. Liberia is not the only country. You were saying that all over. Come on.
We have to drop this stupidity in this country. When something is happening in other countries, those things then that we see happy protests, we enjoy it. When people attempt to do it or announcing to do it in this country, then we think it's wrong, it's uncivilized. You see that in other countries. That tells you, have you ever seen in this country that you heard women saying they were naked themselves? Have you heard it before? Since we've been having protests in this country, government after government, have you heard that before? No. No. If you have, well, I haven't. And I don't think history has it. This is the first time in the history and existence of Liberia. The first protest that you hear women say they were naked themselves. If the government continue to do this, and you know, it sends a message. Tell me, for God in heaven's sake, what kind of president? Even though they can shield this president when people are coming out, so he doesn't see it, but president around the world, they can watch the movements of people, they watch the protests, they follow. That's when you see the president come and takes unilateral decision. He ain't listening to anybody. He just come and instruct whosoever and say, your call of that protest, call the people and let us sit down and talk, because the things that he will see. Why are you taking that thing for joke? It tells you of the desperation. It tells you how the people now, their anger, their vexation has reached a boiling point, or that they can no longer hold it, that they prefer to go to the extreme, and it sends a message, and the government can never arrest anybody for that and say it is an immoral, is this and that, is societal this. That is why you have to listen. You have to listen to the people. The people will not go violent. No, they wouldn't. But they will express themselves. They'll bring out their anger in different forms and manner. That is why the government has to be psychological enough and not to be irrational and dismissive of the people's legitimate right. Earlier today, well, let's listen to Molba Molu first.
With Lola that was confiscated from the individual and is under a state operating. The plan amongst us to cause trouble and cause death. If we are very sure that this is the God with Lola that was confiscated from the individual and is under a state operating. The plan amongst us to cause trouble and cause death. If we are very sure that this is the God with Lola that was confiscated from the individual and is under a state operating. The plan amongst us to cause trouble and cause death. If we are very sure that this is the God with Lola that was confiscated from the individual and is under a state operating. The plan amongst us to cause trouble and cause death. If we are very sure that this
Good morning, my fellow Liberians. This
is the God with Lola that was confiscated from the individual that is under a state operative. Our people amongst us to cause trouble and cause pain. And we are very sure that this is a God with a bullet that was confiscated from the individual that is under a state operative. Our people amongst us to cause trouble and cause pain. And we are very sure that this is a God with a bullet that was confiscated from the individual that is under a state operative. Our people amongst us to cause trouble and cause pain. And we are very sure that this is a God with a bullet that was confiscated from the individual that is under a state operative. Our people amongst us to cause trouble and cause pain. And we are very sure that this is a God with a bullet that was confiscated from the individual that is under a state operative. Our people amongst us to cause trouble and cause pain. And we are very sure that this is a God with a bullet that was confiscated from the individual that is under a state operative.
So Molma Molu is saying that the state, he accused the police of a shenanigan, that a gun, a rubber bullet gun, was placed in their midst. The intent of that so that they will come out and say the protesters had gone. The protesters had gone. Yes, that's what he said. Let's have a listen and watch.
That was confiscated from the individual that is under a state operative. Our people amongst us to cause trouble and cause pain. And we are very sure that this is a God with bullet that was confiscated from the individual that is under a state operative.
So you see him there with the gun in his hand, rubber bullet gun. The intent was the police will capitalize on that and say that the protesters had gone. Remember now, the police director, prior to today's protest, gave a podcast or did a podcast in the studio, the police studio. And he said that the court, they intercepted, they arrest, whichever the security term, several petrol bombs from people who were distributing them to cause chaos. He named a fellow who today only the police knows that man physically. He displayed some of the things they refer to as petrol bomb, but he could not display the identity of the fellow he called. You see that? They had never wanted this protest. They are intolerant. They wanted to cause chaos. so that they will say, oh, that the protesters. Then the tiny UPS, they will be jumping on what we told y'all. The people they offer trouble. Yeah. The people get gone. The people get on. You heard the police director. That was what we told you yesterday. That whole thing by the police director was a makeup, was a blatant lie. And we told you people that what he did could plunge Liberia in a very dangerous situation. Didn't we tell you yesterday on the show that the police director should not have made that statement? Even if you suspected something as a security person, you use it as private information, meaning you're not disclosing anything, you keep all of those, and then you watch the protest. He came out immediately to say that the fellow was distributing, they called the people distributing petrol bombs. What kind of security director, what kind of police director in the world would do that? He thought that he was saying something that the people would say, oh yeah, the police on top of the game, the police doing that, the police doing that. And I said yesterday that was wrong. We have seen police directors give news conference. There are certain things they withhold. The reason why they withhold those vital information, because they will have to study it. How do they need to put it up? Because it has an implication on the country in terms of the economic side, just different factors. They'll take all those into consideration. That's why you see the white man, I'm not sounding racist, before the white security people come out to say anything, there is a deep discussion amongst themselves in that room. They will take into consideration all of the factors. And then the last one, they will look at the publicity aspect of whether it is right to mention this or it is right not to mention this. When we said yesterday that the police director should not have said that the individual was distributing petrol bombs. He was distributing petrol bombs all over the place. And we said from an economic standpoint, from a commerce standpoint, in terms of attracting investors into the country, will discourage people. This morning, professor of law, constitutional law, Tiawan Gonglo, gave a news conference and he referenced that same thing. After we said it yesterday, he referenced it today that it was premature on the part of the police director to have said that, and he was not looking at it from an economic standpoint.
I said to the protesters, you have to be peaceful. You have to respect the rights of others. There is no disagreement on that. So I know some people at Capitol Hill. Look, in fact, that statement made by the police director, in my view, the Inspector General of Police, is provocative.
You hear it? You hear it? Let me go back. You hear?
There is no disagreement. It promotes the protest.
You hear it?
That's what happened on April 14. Go to the mansion to petition him. Nothing should happen at Capitol Hill. Look, in fact, that statement made by the police director.
Yeah, he said, in fact, that statement made by the police director, is provocative. What kind of police director, what kind of some police director will come up and tell the nation that they saw people distributing petrol bombs around court? And you stay keeping that man over there as police director? Sorry to say, man, we're not being welcome, but actually, Gregory Coleman can stoop so low, far below the belt of a police director, something that he cannot prove. Why he did not display that man? Usually they will display people, we know them for that. They will display people all around. They will put their picture all around. They will put them in handcuffs. They will call news conference. They will display. Why he could not display that man? Say, this is the man. He showed Keynes. He said, these are the petrol bombs. Then he called a name. And I know that name, that pseudonym. Everybody can do that. That pseudonym, right? You can do it in your speech, oral speech. You can do it in written speech. You can do it different. You get plenty of people on Facebook that are not the real name. They're using pseudonym. Pseudonym means a name that is not yours. A created name. Writers, those writers, they use most of their characters or a certain character giving the message they want to send across. They can use a pseudo character, a pseudonym. They can choose to hide the identity of the person and use a different identity. But in this one, a security person, you will bring it out. Moreover, the statement was provocative or discouraging. Listen to Tier 1.
Inspector General of Police is provocative. From my experience, more government opposes protests and talks about it on radio.
I'll go by there.
For about 5 days prior to April 14, EFBC, that statement made by the police director, in my view, the Inspector General of Police is provocative. Made by the police director, in my view, the Inspector General of Police is provocative. That statement made by the police director, in my view, the Inspector General of Police is provocative. From my experience, more government opposes protests and talks about it on radio. It promotes the protest. That's what happened on April 14. For about 5 days prior to April 14, EFBC were carrying statements every day. We are calling upon the Liberian people now to come out showing the time and all to demonstrate on April 14. And so it was the government that mobilized the people on April 14. That's the same thing that the IG is doing. Maybe it's not guided by history. But I have been a participant in demonstration. I've also been an advisor. In 2018, when Martin Colley and other civil society leaders organized a demonstration on September 24, that's about 7 months after the Weah government came into power, calling it the Bring Back Our $16 billion and $25 million. I was asked to be their legal advisor, and I advised them to be peaceful. I think you should have your own people, marshals, to make sure that the protesters are not violent, because government will infiltrate some people into your protest to make you look bad. And once you see those people, you take them and give them to the police. And I must praise a good friend and colleague, Musa Dane. He was Minister of Justice.
All right. So yes, that's what he had to say. That statement made by the police director was not timely at all. It wasn't. But that's the police director right there. You know, the man's the deputy president now, the man the assistant president. So the man goes around just talking. He likes talking, just like some people say he likes the camera. He likes to hear himself. He likes to see himself. He likes to hear people talking about him. So he dominates almost everything in the country, not taking into consideration that certain statements just can be made at certain time. Probably, like bro is saying, that maybe he made the accusation against Stan and Modba Molu, maybe to arrest Modba Molu. And I want to believe that because last year, the July 17 protest, they called Modba Molu. They said that if he and his people don't go at the police station for the damages, the vandalism, they were going to arrest them. So this one, since they did not arrest them, they did not send them to jail last year. So probably the police boss felt that this one could be a good opportunity. And you see, could be a good opportunity. But whether we like it or not, whether they like it or not, rather, He can't do anything to those individuals. They can't do anything. The people message gone across. They send the message across by the numbers. The turnout was encouraging. The turnout was encouraging. Great turnout today. Again, thanks to God. Thanks to God who withheld the rain. God did not bring down any rain for Unity Party people to capitalize on it. Yeah, the man is displaying a gun that they took from one of those who was allegedly planted. This is what the man is displaying, a gun.
This is a gun with Lola bullets that was confiscated from the individual that is under a state operative that was deployed amongst us to cause trouble and cause bad. And we are very sure that this is a gun with Lola bullets that was confiscated from the individual that is under a state operative that was deployed amongst us to cause trouble and cause bad. And we are very sure that this is a gun with Lola bullets that was confiscated from the individual that is under a state operative that was deployed amongst us to cause trouble and cause bad. And we are very sure that these.
All right. So the protest, again, whether you believe it, we don't need you to believe. We don't need your belief. We see, we know, and we testify that the turnout was massive. Whether President Buhari receives it or not, that is not the issue. The issue is change will come. Change will come. Change will come. No matter what, change will come. Whether today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, change will come from this protest. This is not, imagine this is not the opposition protest, and the opposition protest is pending. Just so you know, the opposition protest is pending. All political parties, the government must brace itself for this. And let's see whether Gregory Cuomo will give a news conference and say the Capitol building is no-go zone. Let's see whether that will happen. But the message went across. The message went across, and everything went well and still going well. Everything went well and still going well. Still going well, and it will continue to go well. Change will come. Change is on its way. This government will succumb. This government will bow. This government, no matter what, will give in. They will do the needful. President Buhari will do the needful. They are under pressure, and they will continue to be pressure to do what is right. Citizens pressure. In line with the Constitution, the government will bow, and the government is bowing. No matter what, they will give in. This is the Republic of Liberia. not the Republic of Unity Party. They are ashamed. They can't say anything. They thought that it was never ever going to be peaceful, or the turnout was never going to be encouraging. That's why they were so excited, they were so motivated that it was going to be a field protest, a field demonstration. But no, not a field demonstration. Change is coming. Change is on its way. Bouaga receives it or not, that is not the issue. Deputy President receives it or not, that is not the issue. Regime Speaker receives it or not, that is not the issue. The issue is change. And that's what the protesters, these Liberians, focus, determined for a change, all about. Change will come. We will not give up.
Thank you very kindly, my friend.
Change is on its way. Yeah. Martin Luther King said, before this victory is won, and the victory is being won, change is coming. No matter what, change is coming. So if I were the protesters, or if I were one of those protesters, not bother. That Bouaga comes to receive it. You'll be elevating the man. You'll be elevating the man. You'll give the man too much credence. Too much credence. You'll give the man. Listen, Bouaga can be in this country and nobody pays attention to him. Nobody calls his name. He'll feel uncomfortable like he's not president of this country. We've seen that in other countries. We've seen that. But here is it. The message gone across. Preserving executive mansion, preserving Capitol building, it's not preservation in itself. No. Capitol building, the executive mansion, as we have seen in the past, is for Unity Party people. If a protest was being organized by Unity Party, the police would not have carried raw tank, guns all over the place, bazooka. They would not have carried a water cannon. We've seen the history told us. The last time Unity Party people organized protest, what did they say? They said march on the Capitol. March on the Capitol. What happened? They were giving unfettered access. No police was around with water cannon, with guns. Unity Party people move in. So that what it would be, it's good that you say you will stay there for 1 million years. You'll stay there for 1 million years. But one day, you will move. And when you move, Unity Party people, you will be chased everywhere, every corner. So you just stay there like Nebuchadnezzar. You stay there forever and ever. All these things that you people doing, it will haunt you. It will get back to you. You stay there 1 million years. One day, 1 year, you will move from there. And all of these things, nobody will forget about it. You people will be chased from everywhere to the extent that if it causes people to run you out of this country, will run you. And you saw 1990 war, how they chase people to look for them here and there because of what they did to people. You can do your act, but people can never forget. Even if that person dies, it goes on to another person. That child that coming up knows it, will live with it, and grow up with it. And when the opportunity is afforded, they will use it. So you continue to suppress the people. You continue to keep it. That your property now, Unity Party property, the executive mansion, the Capitol building. It's not the people's office any longer. No, it's not the people's office. It's not the people's office. That I say, you're right. At George, you are playing softly. Some of the things, if some of you were in jail for 100 years, you stay there, you die, you get rotting. You people are not going to be saying some of these things. But it will never, ever be forgotten. It will never, ever. Except, George, we have never treated you people here with kindness. It will never, ever be forgotten. You'll stay there forever and ever until God bring the war to an end. Even in the next war, as God said, there will be a new earth, a new heaven. Even in a new heaven, you will stay chase Unity Party people everywhere. We will not forget. Because God will not change people's mind. You know, they will change the culture. It will be new culture. But people will still have the 5 senses. They will still have the retentive memory. They will still have everything. Will chase you everywhere. You're taking for a joke. So you can keep your executive mansion. You can keep your how to call it, your Capitol building. That's not the same Capitol building. Right after what the protest they had at that Capitol building, people went there. And why Gregory Coleman did not go and give the people instruction to pull armed men all over the water cannon, and they went there. So you see now, why would we not say it this way? Because that's why you made it to be. That's why you made it to be. That Capitol building and the executive mansion are Unity Party personal property. And for Unity Party, when Unity Party people want protest, I challenge the police director. Let Unity Party people organize something, a march on the Capitol or a march to the executive mansion. See where Gregory Coleman ever had news conference. He would never have news conference. But that George Weah kept him in his government. That's why some of these things that happened to George Weah, he has to sit down and blame himself. All of these people that George Weah brought in his government, all of them were there to undermine, spy, and say, we'll make sure we'll move the man. That's why Bouaka appointed him police director. So now we just need to sit down and say, well, I blame myself. You are taking people. Now I can see why seditionists were complaining. You're taking the other people, you putting it there, sometimes the government of inclusion, it's not necessary to. Because you see what Unity Party is doing? They flush every sedition out of the government. They're going after every person who is connected to George Weah. They take everything onto themselves. They take the country onto themselves as their property. And you think people are going to forget about this thing? Forever, nobody will forget. Even in the next war, the new heaven and the new earth, it will still chase Unity Party people. You Unity Party people, they are identical. I say Ellen Johnson Sally government. I say Ellen Johnson said, the Bouaka government, you Unity Party people, Bouaka has placed a dent on your, a dent. Has placed a dent on your, put you in embarrassing situation. That's why when you go to some area, some of your people are ashamed to identify themselves as Unity Party people. Because everybody just fed up with you. They just see you as people, as wicked people, bad people. That's why I refer to you as Satan's government, devil's government, rather. Devil's government. Devil government. You don't see the number? You see the attendance on Capitol, around Capitol. You keep your Capitol building. The people have the numbers. You're protecting buildings. But the people have the numbers. The people came out the numbers. You think God's stupid? God is involved with this protest. God is on the side of the grieving protesters. That's why the man said, let not my people groan in their hearts. You sit down here and you can be preaching. You say, oh, the Bible say, government is on the shoulder. So the government is on the shoulder. So the government must suppress the people. The government should inflict pain. The government should create chaos. The government should suppress press freedom, freedom of association, freedom of assembly. You better take that nonsense from here. You think that what the Bible man can't talk about God? The government is how they call it? Well, Romans 13, their quote. You think that what God say? I see your man. So let's assume, even if God say that, let's assume for the discussion, say if God say that, did God approve devil's government? Assume that God said that. But did he approve devil government? Is that a reference for devil's government? If that was true, he would not have punished Nebuchadnezzar. He would not allow Nebuchadnezzar to have gone naked for 3 years and ate grass. He would not have suffocated Nebuchadnezzar because of his despotic, dictatorial, tyrannic rule. You see the number, and the numbers, the crowd is still swelling. The crowd is still swelling. Ask yourself why. In the past, July 17, the rain will come down. Even if there is not tense, but the rain will come down. Why this one? Why this year 2026? No rain at all. It is after 4. 27 minutes after 4. It's going to 5. Why no rain? Why the weather hasn't changed? Say that God is on the side of the protesters. God is against the government. Why is God is against Unity Party government? Because that devil's government. You see the crowd? You see human beings? You're taking it for a joke. This is not the opposition. If the crowd can be so massive like this, then imagine when the opposition political parties in one accord call a protest. Imagine how this country will be. I think President Bouhaka will go sit down in one of the European countries. Imagine, which is pending. We're giving you another hint. There is a pending. You're taking it for a joke. There is a pending. And you say you're preparing for the people 2029. You'll do all kinds of things before 2029. The people preparing for you too. It's going to be clash of the titans going into 2029. We're going to see. There is a pending protest of the opposition. One accord protest. Then let Gregor come and go have press conference and tell the nation and the whole world the executive mansion is no-go zone, Capitol Building, no-go zone. You see, they want that Molu, he can flex a muscle on. And his colleagues, these civil society organizations that they're the one he can flex. I bet you I challenge the police director. Let the opposition, political parties, organize a protest. Call the people to come out. Let Greg see whether Greg come or go sit down and say the Capitol Building, the executive mansion, no-go zone. Because they will not be able to contain the human beings. What in the Bible, what God referred to as sea. Have you seen that word in the Bible? Sea, S-E-A. What God referred to as sea. It's not a reference of body of water. It means human beings beyond human imagination. That your eyes cannot behold or swallow the entire city. Everything will come to a standstill. If you hear it, then rush President Bouhaka to song and country to go sit down there because of the pressure. That protest is coming up. It's coming. The opposition, they want that Molu and his civil society people are giving the government hard time. Just imagine. Then one more about the opposition protest that they spending. I'm telling you, I'm not sitting down here, I'm not saying it. I'm not spokesman for the people. But just as we know about the government, we know about our side too. That protest is pending, coming. That means it's in its planning stage. Let's see whether Gregory Coleman will go sit down and tell the nation and the world the executive mansion and no-go zone. Whether you will go and tell the nation and the world that they call people distributing petrol bombs here and there. Because it will overwhelm the police, the crowd will overwhelm the police, the crowd will overwhelm the military. There will be no military, no police to contain those people. The pending, meaning in the making, pending protest of the opposition. You're taking it for a joke. You think when the people are saying they're protesting, like how you people are doing every day in a weird regime, protest was your breakfast. Protest was your lunch. Protest was your supper in a weird regime every day. So if the people ain't doing it today, it doesn't mean that you're strong Unity Party. It doesn't mean that the people are afraid of the Unity Party government. It only means they are taking their time to do what is right. And when they start to do what is right, the international community, the whole world will say, you guys are right. President Bouhaka, you have to listen. Now, Moluba Molu and his other civil society actors, coupled with these disenchanted Liberians, based on the subjugation, the suffering, the disrespect, the insult. What kind of president in this world will just go around insulting his own people. Only a dictator does that. And you think that the people are not taking all of these into consideration? You think the people are not cataloging the government's act? You think the opposition not cataloging? You think the opposition's just sitting and watching like one watching a movie in a living room? No, they are cataloging. They are putting all of the government's excesses together, because that petition comes with the C out, SEA, C. It means multitudes beyond human imagination. That's why God used it. SEA. Every time you see it, when you see it in Revelation, it's not a reference for body of waters. It's a reference for multitudes of people beyond human widest imagination. Now, what's going to happen? You prepare yourself for that next one. I'm giving you a hint. When your thing that says yes, the opposition will just sit down and do nothing and wait for 2020 now. I beg you, yeah. Is that why you know the body voting is the reason why you say you're controlling the narrative? Allah. You see it. And you get straight. Well, come and see. I see you. Wow. Thanks to those civil society actors and Liberians. The turnout was massive, very, very massive. Large crowd, large, quadruple large. Yet the people have spoken. The people have resolved. The people remain undeterred. Yes, see human beings. You come on and say the 10-hour poll. Protest failed. And that's what you people were saying last year. Unity Party people, protest failed. You tell them protest failed now, and who will ever believe you? You see it? You see the number? You see the human beings? God bless this protest. This protest is blessed. This protest has God in it. This protest is covered with the presence of God, the protective covering of God, and God's providential presence involved with this protest. You see it. What kind of characteristics that you need again? What is it that you have not seen that you want to share with us in terms of the number? What is it? There is nothing. All of them, all the Unity Party people, they've gone silent on social media because they've seen the numbers. They've seen the resolve of the people. They imagine how they were at that very capital in We Are Stand with the We Are Step Down campaign. They're saying the same resolve. They're saying the same determination. Above all, they're saying the blessing of God. God is with the protesters, and God is against the Unity Party government. Why God is against? Because that's devil's government. Devil's government. And let me inject this one. The same thing the police director did last year. He arrested few people, or some people who did not disturb, did not cause violence, nothing, because they wanted to prove a point. They said these people, when vandalizing vehicles, causing this, causing that, they brought up 9 million Trump or charges. When you do all of that, and you carry the people to court, and when you carry them to court, you go with evidence. Evidence that what convinces the court. They could not. They end up releasing the people secretly. Today, they will attempt to do that again. What am I saying about this? The guys are just using power loosely. The guy from the port, Segu Dugle, the man say The law is the law. See you in court. Because For the Massacre was on the air, and For the Massacre expressed his opinion. He immediately instructed the judge to issue an arrest order. Less than no time, the judge issued that, sent the sheriff to arrest the man. You know why it was so fast? Because the man sits over millions of dollars. The man got money. The man got money. Unity Party people, that what they're using the power and cash violence loosely. That's what they're doing. Yesterday, they were condemning all of those things. They said George Weah people were using their power, their ministerial power to trample upon the people. George Weah government officials, they were doing this, they were doing that. And so the country is so chaotic. Today, they're doing the same thing. The same thing. When we said freedom of speech is being stifled, they say, oh boy, and you're sitting on radio talking. You think that only on radio? It's not only on radio. You express yourself, just talk about a government official or talk about something or make reference to something. That person will get vexed. The next thing, the man called the court. Less than no time, the court sent sheriff. The police ready to beat you. Because that one, that arrest, that beating, that brutalization. When the person is not exerting any force, no resistance whatsoever, you move along with the people. The white people, you don't see them doing that. The only time you see a white officer or police officers beating on a person, except that person put up a resistance and they try to use every force to suppress that person. Once the person is not resisting, the person is not going against the police officer or officers, you can beat on the person again. If the person is resisting, if the person is going in physical confrontation resistively or against the police officer or police officers, that when you come with force now to suppress the person. But when the person is doing nothing or such, you want to, once the person has the handcuff on his hand, okay. Yesterday, it's not to say that George Weah government was 100% perfect, no. People below the presidency, they go and do things within their own will, which cannot be the president's approval. Most of the things that are happening, we cannot say President Bouakai approved them, President Bouakai, no. The same thing I said in Weah's regime repeatedly, that the president, George Weah, was not everywhere to see everything and know everything. The president cannot be everywhere to know everything and see everything. Individual ministers, police people, immigration people, they did their own thing. They were doing their own thing to people and were causing problems for the government. The same way in this government. I cannot, as I said here, and tell you that President Bouakai knows everything everywhere and he approves of everything. That would be foolhardy on my part. That would be unprofessional on my part. There are people who use their ministerial position, their agency position, their security position to suppress people, to stifle and trample on people's rights. There are people who, police officers, who don't know exactly how to just move with an arrest. They believe in brutality, like what they did to For the Massacre. For the Massacre was not putting up resistance. Why would you just beat him anyway? We cannot say President Bouakai approved that because President Bouakai was not there. He didn't know. And these things, they have serious impact negatively on the government. Again, the protest has not come to an end, but I am saying to you that it was successful. The message resonated. The international community watched, listened, and have recorded. It was peaceful. The police has not reported any incident of violence, vandalism, misconduct, and whichever way you can describe it from the protesters. No. If they suspected anything or if they took hold of anything, watch it. By now, the police, either one or two, if not the police director himself, to give on-the-spot news conference. On-the-spot news conference is where you speak to reporters right there and telling them that this is what you discover. These are the people that have been arrested who were engaging into vandalism. They did this, they did that. No on-the-spot briefing. They have not reported anything yet. It is after 4 going to 5 o'clock. What that tells you, organization from the organizers of the protest. And above all, our pieces of advice. And thanks to those Liberians for listening by conducting themselves in a peaceful, non-violent manner. Thanks to Councillor, Professor of Law, Constitutional Lawyer, Councillor Tiawan Gonglo, who added his voice that the government should respect the rights of the people to protest and call on the protesters to be peaceful, call on the police to safeguard the protesters, that it is a democratic tenant, it is a constitutional right. No government should be afraid of protest. And thanks to all of you who added your voice to this. Everyone is successful. Whether government receives the petition or not, my reasoning is the protesters, these Liberians or those Liberians, all of us are pressing for change. Change is the key word, not personality. Do not put it squarely at the feet of President Boakai that he must receive the petition at all costs. Human being is unpredictable. It is not the facial expression, it is not the physical presence that convinces a person or you should be convinced of. It is the intent, the heart. And we cannot know that the person has decided to live up to what the petitioners petition the government of, except by action. You can give the petition to President Boakai. It will just be historical. You gave the petition to President Boakai, it will just be historical, meaning that your first protest, you demanded that the president received it, and the president didn't. The second, you demanded the president receive it, and the president didn't. So the third, the president comes to receive it. That history right there, you say record. But what kind of record? An empty record. How empty is that? They say, yeah, we gave President Boakai receive our petition, so we're going on. Then President Boakai goes and just put it in a trash can. Nothing is happening. The petition is presented to the government, and that's why the Constitution said the people have the right to hold their government accountable. The Constitution did not say the people have the right to hold their president or the president accountable. It said the government accountable. So you present the petition to the government. Even if President Boakai designated the lowest of person to receive that petition, may have always supported that. It's given in Weah time. I said the same thing. Look, if President Weah didn't come, no problem. You say you want the president to receive it. Okay, his security people say, but because of X, Y, Z, the president won't come. You accept that. If the president designated somebody, and which he did then, I said, you give it. They said no. Was President Alcor, they started shouting and screaming, playing the music on the podium and all of that. Because my position then is the same as today. It was not whether President Weah should receive it. If President Weah didn't receive it, another person can receive it. Because the Constitution says your government, they say you have the right, all power is inherent in the people, and the officials or the government is accountable to the people. So you give it to the government, and the government constitutes several persons. What you should be concerned about, if they receive it and they're not acting upon your petition, and that's what we see in Europe. That's what we see in America. It is not the people concerned that Donald Trump should come and receive it at all costs. If Donald Trump can't receive it, they will not leave the street. No. They presented, even at the lowest person, even somebody come from the government, the evidence. If somebody, even if the government or the president designated a lower person, that's the government. The evidence right there. The government has locked itself in such that they cannot or they will not deny. Let it not be about history. Let it be about change, because that's change you're pressing for. All of those counts you put in your petition, all of those things you have on your placards, all that you have been saying at news conferences, doing Facebook podcasts, discussing at various intellectual centers and everywhere, change, 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 change. One word, change. So take the document of change, give it to the government that has the responsibility to engender the change. If the government isn't doing it, then you have the next option, and you will keep on pressurizing them until they can do what is right. They don't dwell on President Bouaka coming to receive petition. So if Bouaka can't receive the petition now, then everybody goes on. So what then? It doesn't say that it's going to get what you want. You will only be satisfied that the president received it. And that's the message you will be taking back. That we presented the petition to the president. It should not be about the president receiving. It should not be about the vice president receiving. It should be the petition was presented to the government. Hold the government accountable. The government will receive it. And now you start to hold the government to do what is right by accounting for that responsibility. And the government would not deny it. They will not deny that they did not receive it. But the turnout was massive, encouraging the message. Yes. All right. So that's it. Let's get to you to have your say. 0772 2399 33 0886 30 44 97. The women's line 0777 98 03 75. The numbers to have your say. And then we are out for today to get ready for the weekend. And the weekend gives us the final between Barcelona versus Barcelona. Messi wins it. It's okay for me. Lamine Yamal wins it. It's okay for me. Spain wins it. It's okay for me. Argentina wins it. It's okay for me. Either way, satisfied. Because you know what? Mission accomplished. All the Shaka demons then go home. All of them go home. We flush them out. So it's all Lionel Messi affair. It's all Lamine Yamal affair. It's all Barcelona affair. We won't know. We don't get down. Sunday we'll go sit down and watch that game. Argentina beat 50. We happy. Spain beat 9 million. We happy. Either of them that carry the cup, we happy. 10 goal, Ronaldo in the final. 10 goal, Kylian Mbappe out of the final. 10 goal, all the Real Madrid people then they go home. All of them. I'm talking about the one that just signed for Real Madrid. Then where Real Madrid just say, yeah, let Cucurella then. No. All the one that are making big more. They're going home. So it is well. The weekend is going to be well. So let's go now. Let's go. Let's just take a few calls, and then that will be doing it today. Rita, thank you for coming on. Hope that you are doing good. The great Newton Toba, the IT specialist. How are you, sir? Let's go. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Brother.
Yeah.
I'm just calling for red light.
Yeah, let's hear you, sir.
Yeah. Today the protest was fine. The reason why this morning that John Peter because how this parent our head out. The protest was very
man, you never wanted to join that protest. Don't come with that thing here because we have a problem. You have problem, you have solved that problem before today, the 17th. Man, just say what you want to say, man. I want to hear that thing. Say what you want to say.
So what happened today? The protest was okay today. I know that by the grace of God, the protest was successful. And thank God for my people. Thank God for them to be successful today. But the next protest will be there.
All right.
We're sending back for any protest again, but today I will not plan for either one. I will not really enter.
You're part of the one. You're part of the one that future protest will be.
Anyone that come up.
All right. All right, Chief.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's go. Women's line. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Fan.
Hello, madam.
Yeah, this is Satakia Zulu calling from the Oro. No, I was happy today, St. Andrew, for the protest. Thank God we were succeeding. And we will put the government feet to the fire for the government to do what we want him to do. But if you will not do it, then we'll take protest again. Thank you.
All right, madam. Have a nice day. Hello?
Hello?
Yep.
Hello?
Yes. Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, fine. Let's hear
I
you.
want to tell Brother that you don't go. You saw this time and you saw good thing. That all I want to be with you.
All right. Thank you. Have a nice weekend, madam. Where do we go next? Hello? Hello, madam. Okay, you're not ready yet. Men's line. Hello? Hello?
Yes, how are you?
Fine.
Jolly Dado.
Let's hear you.
Call from a Poly Academy community. The protest was bad, but it's just a warning. Brother feel like he feel like the power belongs to him. Pedro Como, we just watching Pedro Como. Let it be on brutality. But I urge George Weah to return to the presidency. Pedro Como, Premier Pia, they shouldn't go scot-free. We must hold and bring them and persecute them for the wrong thing that they are doing. That's all.
All right, Chief. Women's line. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
But you're getting it by what kind of sound there? You call the sound off. Madam, you're not ready. Let's go to the men's line. Make sure when you're in a noisy area, don't call. Get off the noisy area first. Hello.
For the show.
Hello.
From the program.
You are on the line, Chief. Hello.
I said thank you for the show. I just come for the protesting area just now. On my way home. Thank you for the show. I've been following you since today. Thank you for the show. And thank you for our chairman, Muruba Moru. Thank you for the supporter. And thank you also for you. Thank you so much.
All right, Chief. Thank you. To have a nice day. Nice weekend. Hello.
Hello, how are you doing?
Fine.
Yeah, I want to thank you for having me on the line today. I'm Pastor calling from Firestone, Bell City.
Who? You who?
I'm Pastor Buchanan calling from Firestone.
Oh, Pastor Buchanan.
Yes.
Let's hear you, man of God.
I want to thank God, thank you, because we have been praying for this our country so that this protest could be successful today. Well, I want to remind the Liberian people, one of the key things always when I call from Firestone here, I always say this over and over, and I'm repeating again. The council of churches, they are not doing well. If every other leadership that closer to the council of church executive, I think there's a time now we make sure that we bring them down from that leadership. Because things are going wrong in this country, we're not hearing a voice into it. But if the ordinary leader again that say another person are taking over, then they will start getting the airway every 5 minutes. But this government, what they are doing more especially when it comes to the drug issue, and that is the kind of money that the people are using. People need to be giving account. The church, look, let me say, we all know that it's written in the Bible that the government is sitting on the shoulder of the church. But in Liberia, I don't see anything to come up. The council of church, I don't understand it. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Have a nice weekend, Chief. Women's line. Hello.
How you doing, Mr. Andrew?
I'm good. Thank God Almighty.
Yeah, I'm patient good. The Lord is concerned. I'm praying for you. Mr. Andrew, you see the deception that in our police? The police get all our weapons. They get the manpower. They get how other church. So they Guinea put our land in Mr. Andrew. Yeah, so the police only there for protect. That's what the world show strength to the border. See how other church were beating today. But to get how other church to the border, you see the deception that in the police. To pack all the system in the country, back into the mansion. But our border, come on, start here, police take it, and Guinea Port take it. But the father poor and take great deal into the deception. Mr. Andrew, if you can be talking about the pregnant common police. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, patients. Have a nice day. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yes. This man, Bella, calling for Polo.
Let's hear you, madam.
Cooking regime. Cooking state.
Let's hear you.
Of the related party. Honor Joseph Baka. Yes. Andrew, I just want to say, you know, you see the government, you can study somebody. You study someone, then you know how to move money. But Joseph Baka is people. He respect anybody. He respect no person. If the president respect, you say you carry president, so then you say you want the president to come, then it will be all right. That person respect. That man doesn't respect anybody. So no need when they go protest, then they say they want Joseph Baka to come and take their petition anyhow. Because last time it happened, after we were going Joseph Baka and you are going, so you know, government that can, or leader that can respect people. So next time when they go, they train them, then there's somebody prominent person that is called to take a petition that, so they shouldn't speak on the family, but respect people.
All right, madam. All right. Have a nice day. Nice weekend. Hello. Hello, you're on the air.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sanu.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Veteran Bar, calling from Johnson Day. And calling from as a general visit. Calling from the project ground we are going on now. Yeah, Master, thank you very much. After we go, after our opponent read the petition, everything, we tell them they won't come for it. I will the women that are in wet. Lie down the quota. And the police are coming, your mom, say, we're not more let you say, we let down. We say, we're not move, we lift ourselves, so we're not move, start to buy our clothes. Oh, my God, so we're not going one for another country. Let's not come with the government with tire. Let's not go today. I was showing us stopping our training at time. Our prophet, as it says, but I mentioned one for the go, mention already gone. We said it in the national committee, say, well, independent investigation. That one, we want to say, police investigate. Mention already, let me go. Thank you very much.
Thank you too for calling. Nice weekend. Men's line. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. You are on the air, Chief. You call, you went off. Just few then that will be doing it for today. Men's line.
Hello.
Yep.
Leandro.
Yes.
Thank you for the program. I'm Jackie Roy calling for the ERW thing of this community. Some men for Liberia of the Church State for the return of person. We are 2020 now. Thank you for the protesters. There were people for the we the Liberian people. We'll be protesting, but our last protest won't be 2020 now. We'll protest against Unity Party government, the President Joseph Baka government,
to the battle box to remove him from there because you will not listen to what all in our petition will tell you to him. For 2029, we'll protest against him to the battle box there. That's the end. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you too for calling. Have a nice day.
All right.
Women's line. Hello? Hello, women's line. You went off, madam. So we'll go to the men's line. Okay, you're back. Hello.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Mercy.
Yeah, let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you for your effort. The woman council will see it today. The whole our people. So that the result will go now to the God. Let God bless us. You open our eyes. You open our ears. You open our brain. You thank you all generally. You see behind us. Thank you.
All right, my baby. Thank you too for.
All right.
Thank you for always coming on to add your voice to the issues as they unfold in Liberia. Men's line. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, this is Lester. You. Yeah, see the government is very bad. Cause what they did to all of people paying, they take the innocent people and put them in jail, and then the BB people where have the problem or the issue of the drug are bringing in the country, and they rhyme BB car enjoying ourselves. The innocent people suffering. I protest, they protest all they did well, but the next one are coming, they will see the whole nation.
All right, Chief, thank you. Women's line. Hello. Good.
G-Spanner?
Yeah, G-Spanner, what's up? Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the effort. So you people did very well for us for this protest. We are asking Baka to tell us who village us. And we're on Capitol Benny Hill. We are here. People are Samo. If you think we're going to hold one outside, then you are joking. You can be big 3 or 4. The message is gone. The message is resonating into the people. It's already saw everybody, they saw us there. What they say we are 2 or we are 3 or we lack it. But we'll put Baka feet to the fire to tell us who been in 19.2 million jobs. They will let us know. We need a resolve. Our children are damaging in the country. We love jobs and love the country. People are suffering. You're breaking that phone. Who will forget? You get us sick. Then you call us doors. So I said, we are here. We're going on now. We're leaving the place. We're going. Thank you for the time. And brother, when we say we can do it, thank you. Yeah.
Hello? Hello? Yep. Yeah, so you recharge now? Oh, but you call into the radio station and you asking who this?
Sorry, Andrew. Sorry, because I was talking, I went out of credit and pick up. So sorry. First of all, I must say thank you for the effort you are applying.
That's all?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chief. Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Chief Moses Wakori, and I'm calling you from the issue of the project today, they were very successful. Even though I have decided to go there, because I was part of the first project, And then the second project the sending a petition concerning the extra additional district that they want to create in our country. We were there that day for today because of other schedule inconsistent. I encourage other people that there right now. Until our message went across that all are having for.
All right, Chief.
Our message went across. You see, look, Liberia, we got to change our mindset when it comes to protest. Protest, it doesn't mean that million people should go. No. But even 10 or 5 person can go and express that petition they give to the government. I mean, it's a protest. The government will be notified and it will be placed on record that indeed things will happen. These are people that then will appear and then the petition then you should do this, and they refuse to listen to these people. So I mean, our message went across, we are happy, and we let the way the atmosphere go today. This project, it is one of the blessed and most successful project ever sent like Global Funded so far as I see it. So thanks so kindly.
All right, Chief. Thank you too. Have a nice weekend. Women's Line. Hello.
Oh, hello, Andrew.
Hello.
Hello, it's Andrew. My G2 million Felicia consider for justice.
Yeah, let's hear you, madam.
Yes, Andrew, sorry for my forward on the ground hour way. Thank you. The people already get the war already get the message. The message will never for it to go and go on. And you're thank you for educating us. Because as you're saying things over the radio we getting here, also we're not seeing it. So for now, there is no fear in or no fear. We hear in the next protest that CDC that I painted for and the opposition, we're waiting for it. The people will change, they will tell who brought the trust. Thank you, my brother.
All right. Thank you too for calling, madam. Have a very, very nice day. All right. You did extremely well to spice up the show. I want to bring you some things where my guy want to get you listening and watching some things, as it was very, very successful. Whether it comes to receive it or not, that's not the issue. You don't glorify. You don't glorify Borkai. You don't edify Borkai. No, you leave it. If the government, you only need to get the government receiving your protest, your petition rather. You only need the government to receive it. Simple. You drop this thing in this country that president will receive it at all costs. Not all president who want to do that. They drop that. The Constitution say the government, you present your petition to the government. Once the government receives it, they are under obligation to do. Don't give up. Keep on. Let's have something here.
We shall overcome.
Yes. This should be a motivation for you. Don't give up. Listen, change is not on a silver platter. Change is a process. It's not an event, it's not eventual. Change goes with resistance. Change goes with receiving hurt, temptations, delayed, pains, vexation, anger. But when you are focused, you are determined, you are resolute, you get the change. This government is not cast in stone. It's on earth, took an oath to do the right thing. The Constitution is clear. And so you will overcome. How long it takes, you will overcome. Don't give up. This motivation.
We shall overcome. Deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome. Oh, before this victory is won, some will have to get thrown in jail some more, but we shall overcome.
100% true. 100% true. Before this victory is won, victory is change, change is victory. Every struggle with a realistic goal faces resistance from the government, from whoever that got the power, even in the house, in the community, on the school campus, be a polytechnic, university, college, high school, in the office, in the house, organization of different kinds. You see it. But when you are consistent and you are resolute, you overcome. Don't give up. President Bouaga receives this or not, don't give up. Once it is given to the government, keep your lenses on. Raise your resolve to keep checkmating the government to do. The only way you will not checkmate the government, except you didn't present it to the government, then the government will have a claim that they did not receive. But when it is presented to the government cannot deny it. It will be an obligation to deliver. That's when you get to checkmate the government. Change is yours. Change is yours. Victory is yours. But it wouldn't happen suddenly, but it is possible.
Don't worry about us. Before the victory is won, some of us will lose jobs, but we shall overcome.
Yes, definitely, truly. You know what Molba Molu went through here, his people? Just before the start of the protest, their vehicle, their truck was attacked. What did the police say? They said the truck was defective. Ironically, you have rotting vehicles all over the place, though you can use rotting for description on vehicle, is the word is defective. But I'm using it in this context to tell you how bad of vehicles are on the road. The police see those vehicles. They don't arrest them. They don't brand them as defective. You can see, you can tell the practical grush the government has. And you know why they often do this? Because Molba Molu was with the CDC. I've told you people what I have seen and know of Unity Party people. Once you are connected or you were connected to George Weah, Unity Party sees you as left-hand enemy, and they can do anything to exterminate you from the face of the earth simply because you were with George Weah or you are with George Weah. All that you see them doing, because Molba Molu, a CDC chairman, what do you hear them say? Oh, that CDC protest. Molba Molu, the man a CDC man. He says CDC man. Oh, so you when you leave institution, so can we say Gregory Coleman a CDC man because Gregory Coleman worked in George Weah government? So people should not leave their institution or they should not exercise the right of transition. When you transition, they still brand you as being part of that institution. But we will overcome.
We shall overcome. Deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome. Oh, before this victory is won, some will have to get thrown in jail some more, but we shall overcome.
Yes. Take cue from this. This is really motivational. Yeah, it puts you in the position, a resolved position to face reality head on. Don't give up.
Don't worry about us. Before the victory is won, some of us will lose jobs, but we shall overcome.
Right.
Before the victory is won, even some will have to face physical death. Physical death is the price that some must pay to free their children from a
permanent psychological death, and
then
nothing shall be more redemptive. We shall overcome.
Before the victory is won, some would be misunderstood and called bad names and dismissed as rival and agitator. But we shall overcome. And I'll tell you why. We shall overcome because the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice.
Yes, please listen to this one carefully. No interruption. Listen to this one carefully. You Unity Party people, this one is for you. Listen. Listen carefully. Unity Party supporters. Unity Party supporters. You're listening. Definitely. And that's what is happening to Unity Party and will happen to them in the future. They will reap what they sow. That is the summary of human existence. Whatever you sow, you will reap it. It will go back to you. It will affect you. God calls that the golden rule. He calls it the golden rule. You reap what you sow. So, where's the next guy? Where is the next guy? I want you to hear this, all in line with the protest, the successful protest. I want you to listen to this one so that as we gradually get close to 2029, you will know what to do in terms of decision, your position, how informed you will be or ought to be. Yes. Want to show you. Don't be discouraged. They will be coming out. They will not go. Yeah, the tricks of the Unity Party people, they ain't smart. They will come on social media, watch it this evening. They will not take the picture with the scene of the large crowd. They will go to before the large gathering, those isolated scenes. That what they would take. We know that the hunting have already been doing it for long. They know how to say, oh, look, okay, yeah, we criticize the people, but they did well. They know how to concede. So they would take those small, isolated scenes that what they would bring on. And I'm telling you, you're watching this evening, you'll see them. They will bring them on and say the protests were not successful. Look at that. But they know deep down in their heart what happened. We don't need them to validate us. No. We don't need them to validate us. Under no condition. We don't need them to validate us. We validate ourselves by our excellent performance. All right? So let's listen to this. Let's get education. And this is primarily for voters. I want you to listen carefully. Kasongo couldn't have put it any better. He's very informative and his content is always educative. It is purely in the context of politics, especially electoral politics. Have a listen.
Carefully, I am not a prophet. Don't start saying I know everything. No, I simply see things exactly as they are, and I say them exactly as they are. The difference between you and me is simple. Many of you see the truth, but you fear to say it. So me, your humble servant, I will say it for everybody. These legally empowered thieves do not care whether you live or die. They do not care how you feel. They only care about power, title, convoy, and protecting one big stomach. If your suffering helps them stay in, listen carefully.
You know who he's referred to as political thieves? The politicians. The politicians. Listen carefully.
Listen carefully. I am not a prophet. Don't start saying I know everything. No, I simply see things exactly as they are, and I say them exactly as they are. The difference between you and me is simple. Many of you see the truth, but you fear to say it. So me, your humble servant, I will say it for everybody. These legally empowered thieves do not care whether you live or die. They do not care how you feel. They only care about power. Listen carefully.
Now, why did he use the word legal or legally? That is a reference for you voted for them. Their position was not a stolen one. Legislatively, you went out, exercised your constitutional right, you elected them, they were sworn in by the Constitution and the framework of the legislature, and so their position is legal. You empower them, but what are you getting in return? You are getting absolutely nothing in return. They use you as surrogates to accomplish the aims, and even at your detriment, societally or existentially, you are still praising them. You are freaked for their convoys, the tinted windshield vehicle, their extravagant lifestyle, and you're comfortable to call them honorables, even though they are not producing the substance of honorability. That's what he's saying here.
Listen carefully. I am not a prophet. Don't start saying I know everything. No, I simply see things exactly as they are, and I say them exactly as they are. The difference between you and me is simple. Many of you see the truth, but you fear to say it. So me, your humble servant, I will say it for everybody. These legally empowered thieves do not care whether you live or die. They do not care how you feel. They only care about power, title, convoy, and protecting one big stomach. If your suffering helps them stay in power, they will gladly sacrifice your future. During elections, they call you my people. After winning, suddenly your number cannot go through. So wake up, Africa. Open your eyes and speak to yourselves. We cannot continue sleeping through our own suffering. Speak to the old. Speak to the ones still hoping for a better tomorrow before frustration becomes our national anthem. Educate your parents too. Some of our fathers and mothers support political parties like football clubs. My father voted for them does not mean I must also suffer professionally. Even Arsenal fans sometimes accept defeat. Support who is right. Support who performs. A good leader is not chosen by loud noise and big grammar. We cannot continue voting for empty promises and sweet campaign speeches every 4 years. They fear one thing only, your unity. When ordinary people stand together, their evil plans begin to shake. Never forget this. Your ballot is stronger than their convoy. One thumb can disturb many big men. Africa, oh Africa, nobody is coming to save us if we refuse to save ourselves. The future is in our own hands. Care for your future. Vote out failure. Stand together and give the next generation a reason to smile. Because election season is near, they go from community to community, dancing with you and smiling like everything is already fine, pretending that they have the answers. And people dance back, welcome them, and in that moment, it feels like change has finally arrived at your doorstep. Then a little money enters your pocket, and suddenly the memory of your suffering starts to fade away, leaving us to wonder if we ever truly suffered at all. You forget there was no light in your community, no clean water, and no hospital when your family truly needed help. You forget how you got injured on the farm, and even paracetamol cost more than what you painfully earned from the farm that day. You forget you could not attend your child's matriculation because transport prices became higher than your reality, and we must consider the weight of these daily struggles. And I keep wondering, the day will come when people realize that the biggest obstacle to their progress is not far away, but instead resides deep within ourselves. It is not the system alone. Sometimes it is the choices repeated by the same people living inside the system.
Right. 100% true, Kasongo. And you want to have this one too.
The people's curse in Africa. The problem isn't the leader, it's the people. That's the truth Africa has avoided for too long. We love to shout change every election, yet our hearts remain the same. We expect new results from the same broken mindset. We remove one man and replace him with another molded from the same soil of greed, ignorance, and impatience. From Nigeria to Kenya, from Zambia to South Africa, from Ghana to Congo, the story repeats like an old drumbeat that never changes its rhythm. Africa doesn't suffer from a lack of leaders. It suffers from a lack of citizens who think. We treat politics like a football match. We wear party colors like jerseys and scream for our team to win, not for our nation to rise. We celebrate thieves because they come from our tribe. We defend failures because they share our tongue. And when the country falls apart, we act shocked, as if we didn't vote for the very hand that now chokes us. We say we want change, but we want it fast, instant like coffee. We want overnight success without discipline, without sacrifice, without time. But no real change grows overnight. It takes seasons of sweat, pain, and patience. Even the best leader cannot build in a land where citizens destroy faster than they repair. You cannot plant mangoes and expect oranges. And yet, that's the curse of our continent. We build illusions and call them dreams. We fall for promises that sound sweet, ignoring the bitter medicine of truth. Politicians know this. That's why they lie. Lies sell faster than truth because truth demands work. Truth offends the lazy, it exposes the comfortable. Democracy, as we practice it, has become a theater of deception, a system designed to enslave the very minds it promised to free. The ballot has become our new chain. Every few years, we line up to vote, not for vision, but for faces, not for progress, but for revenge. We think replacing a man will replace our condition, but the real prison is not State House. It's the mind of the African voter. Look around. Every African country repeats the same cycle. Corruption, outrage, elections, hope, disappointment, then silence. We blame presidents for potholes, but refuse to pick up trash outside our homes. We curse the government for unemployment, but celebrate shortcuts and fraud. We expect heaven from leaders while living like devils in our own small spaces. And yet the truth remains. No leader can save a people unwilling to save themselves. Real change begins when citizens grow up, when they read, think, question, and work, not just when they complain. When they build communities before building slogans, when they understand that government is not a savior, but a reflection of the people. Africa doesn't need more elections. It needs continuity, accountability, and citizens who act like owners, not spectators. The greatest revolution is not in the streets, it's in the mind. The day Africans stop waiting for rescue, that will be the day we rise. Until then, we remain trapped, not by bad leaders, but by our own illusions. The enemy is not at the top. The enemy lives within us. And until the African changes his mind, no constitution, no election, no foreign aid will ever set him free.
Thank you very much. Nice pieces of advice for the voters, mainly the opposition electorate. Position yourselves, getting ready for 2029. These pieces of electoral advice will come along the way as we move on with our broadcast. We are on an obligation to advise you, to guide you, supervise, expose, educate you so that you know what to do. Is part of the battle for supremacy. They are doing it for their people. We are doing it for ours. These are all in line with politics and electoral politics. The Kasongo focuses on that, on educating voters on what they need to do. Don't fall for promises from the politicians, especially empty promises. They come as angels, and at the close of the day, you are the ones who suffer. Today, what do you see? Most of what he said, Unity Party people are suffering. Today, they were pressing convoys yesterday. Those convoys have no time for them. He said the telephone cannot go through any longer. What do you see today? Unity Party people are complaining when they call their people, they don't answer their call. Didn't Unity Party people say? He said it. He said calls cannot go through again, meaning that if a partisan who voted for the politician calls, the politician doesn't regard that phone call again. He doesn't answer it. She doesn't answer it. But prior to the election, that call was so important that the politician was answering it every now and then. You see, all that he said, you see it happening today. All right, so that's it. Thanks to Kasongo and the other guy. At least they have chosen our institution to be a part so that they help the electorate. Thank you ever so much. That's all the time we've got. This is our Real Talk recess for this week, to return afresh on next week, Monday. But until then, join us at 8 this evening when Newton Tokwa and the diaspora team in WAVE face the issues. That will be at 8 o'clock. It's going to be another insightful discussion, very explosive, and above all, to get you on the right track. They will be here at 8 o'clock. You don't want to miss that. Newton Tokwa and the diaspora team at 8 o'clock. WAVE face the issues. If God permits, we're back Monday.
The people's curse.